Hi everyone! Today in art I have a really fun building project for us. We're going to be creating a musical wall. What's a musical wall, Mrs. Topman? Well, I'm going to go through with you explaining now what's a musical wall and how might you be able to build or create one in your backyard today. If it's a rainy day, you might like to either build it inside or just wait for another day when it's a bit sunnier to go outside and do this art project. All the little engineers are going to be very excited today because today's art lesson isn't about painting, it's not about drawing, it's about building and creating a project. All right, on the screen you can see an example. We're going to go through some examples of some musical walls. A musical wall is an area on the wall, maybe like a meter square, where you hang different musical instruments. Now, you might look at this photo and say, Mrs. Topman, I don't actually see any pianos and I don't actually see a flute and I can't really see a violin. Well, by musical instrument, I mean anything in your household that makes sound. So you can see they've got some pots and pans and maybe a cookie tray, and they're hitting it with like a measuring cup, a plastic ice cube tray, a washing up thing, a tire, a wheel, wow, a rolling pin. You're going to find some things in your house that you think might make some great sounds. Mrs. Topman's skill in life is playing the flute on her drink bottle. What song's that? This could be a musical instrument. What about I just turned Mrs. Topman's cup of tea and my dining table into a musical instrument. Anything that you find in your house that makes sound, you can turn it into a musical instrument and hang it on your music wall. How are you going to hang it? You can use string, you can use rope, you can use sticky tape, you can use blue tack. If you've got like a little ledge like this, you can sit it on the ledge. If you can't do any of those things, you can just kind of like prop it up against the wall, like along the grass line, so it won't be up so high, but it'll just line up all your instruments along the floor. If you can't find any way at all to hang your instruments on your wall, you could do a musical floor, a musical grass. Find a patch of grass or a patch of floor and just lay your instruments out in that. And then to play it, you'll just like walk through it and hit things from vertical. And for seesaw, you'll stand kind of bird's eye view up on top looking down to take your photo rather than playing your instruments on a wall and take your photo looking forwards. Let's look at some more examples of some musical walls. Woo! These people didn't have a wall, so they used kind of like a sign that they found. Maybe they were at a park. You can see they've hung like a colander that you use to strain your rice in the kitchen. A fish fryer. You put the fish in there and then put it on the fire to cook it. How do you think you might play that musical instrument? Butter, 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 butter. Maybe you can get a metal rod and run along it. I love how this person has cut out of some coloured paper the heading music and pinned that up on their musical wall. I see some pots and some pans that they could go and hit with some wooden spoons. Ooh, they've got some pipes maybe, just like Mrs. Topman plays the musical drink bottle. They can play their pipes. And looky here, what's this? What do we call this instrument? A xylophone. If you have instruments in your playroom, in your house or somewhere in your house, absolutely go and hang those up on your musical wall. That means maybe you won't even need to do so much hunting around in your kitchen. Maybe you've got actual instruments that you can just hang straight up. Very cool. Or you could use a bit of both, some kitchen objects and some actual instruments. I love this. Looks like this person got a little bit crafty and made their own instrument. Some beautiful wind chimes. And this person's hung their musical wall, not so much on a fence like the other ones, but like maybe on an outdoor kitchen an outdoor shop. Maybe you could use your trampoline or your outdoor swing set to hang all of your instruments on. You can use whatever you like. It doesn't have to be the wall or the floor. You just need a space where you're going to collect lots of different instruments to create a musical wall, a musical floor, or even a musical trampoline. These children look like they're having lots of fun. I see lots of pots and pans from the kitchen that are going to make some big, loud, clashing noises as they hit them with maybe metal or wooden sticks. These children didn't have a fence. So they've hung their things on some branches of some trees. Maybe you could have a musical tree and hang your instruments off the tree. That sounds beautiful. Very because of Winn-Dixie. This little boy looks like Leo in Queensland. Maybe he doesn't have musical instruments and much of a space to make a musical wall, so he's just going to find some musical instruments in nature. I love that. You could definitely do that. Or line some twigs up or some branches that you can go along. Wow. I love the heading with the treble clef, the quavers and the crotchets. Again, they've used some piping. These children have been doing some gardening. They've got some gardening pots that they're using as drums. I wonder if you've got some gardening pots. Oh, and we know these metal water bottles make a big, loud bang, don't we? Because in our classroom, we all jump out of our skin when someone's metal water bottle drops to the floor. They're very loud. You could definitely add that to your music wall. Or maybe you've got a wind chime somewhere in your house. Maybe something from the recycling bin. This looks just like an old carton. They've made it into a guitar with some tight elastic bands over it. So that's the end. I hope there were some great ideas for you there to get your creative juices flowing for your art project today. I want to see on Seesaw a photo of your musical wall or your musical floor or your musical grass or your musical trampoline when it is done. You might even like to film a little video of yourself performing a musical piece, playing it on your musical wall. Have fun with your art project today, Year 1.